Massive solar eruption, or successive smaller storms coupled with a weaker magnetic shield around the Earth. One of the end results of this ongoing geomagnetic excursion is that at some point during this field reversal process, the solar wind induction and charged particle bombardment is going to end the modern world. The clock is ticking on various geophysical and heliophysical cycles, and while we believe there is about a 1 in 4 chance of such an event happening this coming sunspot maximum, 2021 to 2026 or so, the field continues to weaken, and that risk is expected to rise over the coming few decades until finally the electrical reset occurs. It is our opinion that it is likely to come on in increasingly severe waves, at first with extreme aurora during inclement space weather coupled with satellite anomalies, errors, and breaks. This is also where we begin to see large networks struggle, everything from airline computer systems to the PlayStation Network. We'll then begin to see the 5 to 10x or more increase in electrical fires and transformer explosions as the core joint vulnerabilities in the grid are exploited by the induced electric current. We'll then begin to see the larger effects. Entire grids begin to shudder, as happened in Quebec in 1989. Wire fires become more common, including in non-energy related infrastructure like skyscrapers and even residential homes. Driverless cars, airline navigation, satellite coordination all become severely degraded, if not crippled. The battery explosions in phones and cars are going to skyrocket, and before long, you'd be forgiven for thinking that we were in the movie The Core, where the collapse of Earth's magnetic field triggers tremendous lightning storms that would cripple the grids anyway, if there's anything left of them. And while that movie was largely nonsensical in the second half, it's really not so inaccurate in how it would all go down. From animal navigation to severe weather to the inability to sustain electrical wiring without melt, arcing, and fires. And we're back to the pre-electric age at that point. If you haven't gone through this mental exercise before, it does take a while to process how you would react in such a situation. No power, no heat, no air conditioning, and no water from the tap. No phone, no fridge, no ATMs, no gas pumps, no store functionality, and no refrigeration if they had it, and no gas for the trucks if they had that. And that includes the trucks needed to fix the grid and the coordination it would take and the facilities that make all the parts. No way to come back at all. There are many contingencies for natural disasters of every kind in almost every part of the world. There is no plan and no possible plan for a disaster hitting the entire planet at once. It's simply over. Let's go ahead and review some of the core information from the preceding 4 parts of this series. The Great 2003 solar storms are believed to have caused a brief 3-degree spike in temperatures, which evened out into the night-side atmosphere, the oceans, and then out into space. They believe the 1859 solar storm produced a similar spike of about 7 degrees on the day side of the planet. Now, there are numerous pathways for the particles to complement the strong spike in light energy. The field compression pushes Van Allen belt particles into the atmosphere. The global field disruption induces current through the crust and atmosphere, creating more Joule heating. The proton surge along the interplanetary magnetic field sneaks past the magnetic